Hi, Wayne Hills. Welcome to episode 3 of 272 Berdan. I'm Vanessa Brown.
And I'm Sean Kim. There's a lot of big holidays happening this month, so we decided to quiz some Hill students on popular holiday movies and music.
We interviewed senior Fatima Shazard, sophomore Gia Kajina, and senior Chelsea Lewis. First, we asked everyone to answer different holiday questions. Let's take a look at how it went.
First question. The movie Miracle on 34th Street is based on a real-life department store. What store is it?
Macy's.
Yes, that is correct. Okay. Elvis isn't going to have a white Christmas. He's going to have
A blue.
Yes. He's going to have a blue Christmas. How many nights of Hanukkah are there?
There are 9 nights.
There are 8 nights.
Really?
Yes, there are 8 nights.
Wow, it's really interesting to see how much people remember about the holidays.
Yeah, it seems like everyone knew a lot more than we'd expect.
Next, we gave them different holiday movie quotes, and they had to guess which movies they were from.
Let's see how they did.
Now you have to, I'm going to say a movie quote and you have to name the movie. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing for loud for everyone to hear.
The Grinch?
No, it's Elf.
Okay.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Home Alone.
Yes, that is correct. It's all humbug, I tell you.
Oh my god, I know this, but I don't know this. Hold on. Home Alone 2.
It is A Christmas Carol.
People seem to know a lot more about certain holiday movies than others, but it looks like everyone remembers a lot.
Yeah, I'm surprised how much everyone knew.
To finish the trivia game, we gave everyone parts of different holiday songs, and they had to guess the ending lyrics to them.
Our last game, we are playing Finish the Lyric. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a...
Red Nose.
I'll give it to you. It's a very shiny nose. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
I made it out of clay.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
The very next year, you give it away.
Okay, one more. You got them all correct so far. You're doing great. You're doing amazing. It's the most
Wonderful time of the year.
Yes.
Everyone knew a lot about all these different holiday movies and songs.
That's all for our segment. Up next is Jake and Dean talking about Wayne Hill's wrestling team.
Hello and welcome to our segment on 272 Berdan. I am Jake Tallarico alongside varsity wrestling coach Mr. DeColo. So, Coach, how do you feel about the team this season?
Yeah, we're really excited. We're about a week and a half into the practice right now, and another about 2 weeks until we open up with our first tournament. And the kids have been working hard. They have. They came in. They're ready to work. We have kind of two different teams. Half our team's very experienced and has been a part of wrestling for some time now, and the other half is very young, new to the sport. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds, where you are working with all levels of kids, and it kind of brings you back to the very basic, and then in the other sense, with the other kids, you can do more high level stuff. So we're excited for the year, and I'm excited for this team.
And now, after the last season you just had, how do you think the team has improved?
Yeah, so we had a pretty good off season. We had some kids finally competing in some tournaments again in the off season, which is super important for wrestling. The higher level kids are training year round, and so we're starting to get that on this team, which is what we need. Everybody's practicing, from Thanksgiving to March. It's a time, after the season ends in March and the next season begins, that makes the real difference. And we're starting to have some kids that are doing that. So we're excited to see those improvements that they've made in the off season.
And now that you guys getting into practicing and stuff, what goals do you have for the boys this year?
Yeah, so we have a very tough schedule, but that's done on purpose. We want to do well as a team, compete as a team. Our divisional rivalry against Wayne Valley, hopefully we beat them last year. We'll beat them again this year, I'm hoping. And hopefully by the time the postseason comes around, we'll make the sectional tournament, and we'll have some kids competing individually into the district, region, and hopefully a state tournament this year.
And now with all the goals that you have, what do you do as a coach yourself to help the team?
Yeah, so my job is just to try and put them in the positions that they'll see most in competition. A lot in wrestling is about mindset, and not always the best guy wins athletically. It's the guy that is the strongest mentally, and when you compare that with athleticism and wrestling ability, you have some kids that will start winning some matches. So if I can put them in those positions in practice and make sure that practice is a little more uncomfortable than a match ever will be, so that they're ready when those positions come up in competition, they'll be prepared. And so hopefully that will kind of be the mindset that we're pushing on them and that we have pushed on them since I've came here about 4 or 5 years ago. And we'll have a successful season.
All right, thank you, Coach. And now up next on 272 Berdan, we have Jason Hook in his cooking segment.
Hi, I'm Jason Hook alongside Jake Talarico for the Hanukkah cooking segment. Today, I'll be showing you how to make potato latkes. First, let's take a look at the ingredients.
Hi, I'm Jason Hook, and today I'll be teaching you how to make potato latkes for Hanukkah.
So the ingredients for a basic batch of latkes would be 3 peeled russet potatoes, 1 small yellow onion, and 1 beaten egg. And the potatoes and the onion need to be grated with a box grater. So now I have my box grater and my potato, and we're going to start grating. So once the potatoes and the onions are grated, what you'll notice is they are a bit watery. So what you're going to want to do is push it through a strainer here to get all that excess moisture out. So the next step is to pour in your beaten egg into the potatoes and onions here. And then grab some matzo meal and get about 3 tablespoons to make sure they bind together to get an even consistency. Take a large mixing spoon and you just mix all the ingredients together.
The potatoes are now peeled, and it's time to season the potatoes and place them on the pan.
So once you're done mixing, you're going to want it to look a little bit like this, sort of solidified here. That's how you know you've used enough matzo meal. So now it is time to put this into the pan. You want to get a spoonful here, and you put it into a cast iron pan. This way the heat distributes evenly, and you want to press it down here. We use canola oil because it fries well on a high temperature.
Now the latkes are ready, and it is time to plate them.
So you want to cook your latkes on medium-high heat for 5 minutes on each side. Once they're done, they should look like this. Nice golden brown here. It should be nice and crunchy on the outside, and on the inside it should be smooth. So once you're done, you want to take these out, and you want to place it on a plate or a serving tray lined with a paper towel to make sure it catches any of that excess oil. Now that the latkes are done and they are plated, one very popular topping is applesauce. Just put a dollop on there. And that is the end of our cooking segment on how to make potato latkes.
The latkes came out very good and tasted great. Jake, what's your favorite food to eat during the holidays?
Around the holidays, I like to eat fish. It's like a family tradition that we've done like every year, it seems like. So yeah, that's what I like to eat around the holidays.
That wraps things up for the Hanukkah cooking segment, and now we send it over to our segment on girls fencing.
Hello, I'm John McMonigal, and I am joined by the Wayne Hills girls fencing coach, Coach Camano. Before I get to the questions, can you briefly explain the sport of fencing, as many people do not know much about this sport?
So there's 3 different weapons. We have saber, foil, and epee. Saber is very fast, very aggressive. You usually see a lot of quick and agile fencers there. It's a slashing motion, so you can hit your opponent with any part of the blade. Foil and epee are both point weapons, so there's like a little button at the end of the blade, so you have to be very accurate and precise in your movements, so that way the button pushes in and completes the electrical circuit. In terms of target area, all 3 weapons have a different scoring area, or target area we call it. Saber is from the hip up, including the head. Foil is the throat down to the hip and just like your chest. And epee is anything goes, including your toes. So if your shoe falls off, your opponent can, touch your shoe and it would count as a point.
What do you think this team's strengths are this year?
We have a lot of experience returning. Out of 17 fencers on the roster, we have 9 seniors and 2 juniors. So the bulk of the team has at least 3 years of fencing experience, and that is going to be really important as we kind of shape our underclassmen and help them prepare for the season and the sport.
What are the differences between this year's team and last year's team?
A lot of it comes with kind of setting into routines, and it's not so much about it's more just helping get the younger fencers into routines and understanding the sport and kind of bridging that gap of experience and really helping them grow as fencers, both individually and as a team.
Thank you, Coach Kamania, for joining us today. Let's now send it to Charlotte and Lana for the next segment in our show.
With Christmas approaching very quickly, it is always important to get into the holiday spirit. We decided to make some festive and delicious reindeer cake pops.
In order to make cake pops, the first step is to bake the cake. Here is how we did that.
Combine 3 eggs, half a cup of oil, and 1 cup of water with the powdered cake mix and stir.
Pour the batter into a greased pan and bake it at 350 for 35 minutes.
We made a cake using a box mix. You could also make it from scratch.
Now that the vanilla cake is prepared, it is time to make the frosting in order to form the cake pops.
Combine the butter, powdered sugar, vanilla extract, and whole milk to make the frosting.
Using a hand mixer, whisk 3.5 tablespoons of butter until it forms stiff peaks.
Wait until the cake is cooled. Use spoons to crumble it together, but make sure there's no larger pieces left.
And next we're going to add the frosting to it in order to form the cake pops. Once the dough is formed into balls, put them in the freezer for 1 hour.
A good tip is to poke holes in a cardboard box to help the cake pops stand upright. Also, you would have to move fast if you made these, so make sure to prepare your decorations before you put them on the cake pops.
Next, we decorate the cake pops to look like reindeer for the holiday season.
To prepare the decorations, break pretzels in half to form antlers. Next, use red gummy candy as noses for the reindeer. Melt 20 ounces of dark chocolate in a bowl and dip the cake pops into the chocolate, making sure that they're fully coated.
Next, stand them upright and add the noses and the antlers, and let dry. Use black gel icing to draw eyes on the reindeer.
Put them in the fridge for an hour and then enjoy. Here is the finished product.
These reindeer cake pops are great holiday treats, or you could decorate them in any way you'd like.
The possibilities are endless. You could decorate them for any holiday or for any seasonal theme.
Now we will throw it to Ryan with Christmas interviews.
Welcome to Christmas Interviews, where we will be asking people what their favorite things are for Christmas. It's going to be a good one today, so leave it to us to fulfill your holiday joy. I'm personally really excited about Christmas. How do you feel?
I'm really excited too, There's always antsiness to just open up your presents, but it's excitement, waiting and thinking about what you're going to get too.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see what people like giving presents to.
My sister, because we dogs like that.
My dad is my favorite person to buy presents for because he is very giving to me.
My favorite person to buy presents for is my mom because she's always really appreciative when I buy her gifts.
That's very interesting. My favorite person to buy presents for is my dad since he's so giving to me. What do you think of the Secret Santa tradition performed by many?
I think it's a great thing. I think there's always like mysteriousness to it, like who got you what, and I think it's a great thing between like friends and family.
Yeah, I agree. It is pretty disappointing, though, when you get a present that you don't like.
Let's go over to what people think about gifts that they don't like.
I pretend to love it because I don't want to hurt people's feelings because I'm a good person.
No, I pretend to love it. Why? Because I don't want to make someone feel bad.
Usually I, am very nice when I first receive it, but then, behind their back, I would return it if I will not find use for it.
Are you ever sad when Christmas is over, or do you just look forward to next year?
I think it's a mixture of both, because the lead up to Christmas and then now it's over, but you always have like New Year's and the Christmas break, winter break, so I think it's just like in between both.
I do agree on that. It's always great to see different Christmas traditions, so let's see what people's traditions are.
I was just watching a movie together, I guess.
It's Russian Christmas, and because we're Russian and it's a Christmas.
Okay, so a family tradition of mine is we always cut down our Christmas tree with all of our family.
My family traditions are always fun as well.
Thank you for listening to the Christmas interviews. Next up on 272 Berdan, we'll be baking chocolate chip cookies.
Since the holidays are around the corner, Lexi and Sarah thought it would be a great idea to bake cookies. Here's a segment of them making chocolate chip cookies.
The first step taken when making the cookies is to add all of the ingredients.
Their next step is to crack the eggs and put more ingredients in.
After that, they rolled up the cookie dough and put them on a cookie sheet and into the oven.
They took the cookies out of the oven and let them cool on a plate.
Next up, we have Sean and Yassine and their segment on the Empowerment Club.
Hi, I'm Sean, and today we're joined by Vanessa, and we're going to be talking about the Empowerment Club.
Still relatively new, the Empowerment Club has made a lot of great strides and focuses on issues that really matter, such as classism, climate change, health issues, and more.
We recently had a chance to talk to the club's officers and ask them some questions. Here's what President Hannah Haidu had to say when asked about what the Empowerment Club is about.
Hi, my name is Hannah Haidu. I'm the founder and president of the Wayne Hills Empowerment Club, which is basically a group of students and faculty dedicated to empowering students and defying pre-existing stereotypes. We usually have discussions about human rights and social issues and current events to achieve our goal.
That seems like a great cause.
We also asked them what kinds of things they do in the club. Let's take a look at what Treasurer Yara Shobat had to say.
Hi, I'm Yara Shoba, and I'm the treasurer of the Empowerment Club. In the club, we have discussions and information-based meetings regarding human rights issues, and we talk about advocacy and how we can make an impact in our communities for these issues. This year, we've taken on an action-based model as opposed to last year's discussion-based model due to COVID. For instance, we have donation drives and fundraisers for charities that relate to the topics we're discussing. And just for an example, last month we held a donation drive and we raised 858 items in total for a women's shelter, which was really great.
It's great that so much was donated, over 800 items.
I know, it's great to see them supporting such a good cause. When asked about their goals for the club, co-president Sabrina Starwar had this to say.
Hi, my name is Sabrina Sarwar, and I'm the co-founder and co-president of the Wayne Hills Empowerment Club. Our goal is to give our students a safe space where they can discuss social issues, and overall, we want to create a more accepting school environment.
We all also asked them what they hope can come out of the club. Let's take a look at what Secretary Harmon Coley said about this.
Hi, I'm Harmon Coley. I'm the secretary of the Empowerment Club, and from this club, we hope that the members can sort of take the things that we talk about in the club and bring them home with them and to their friends, so we can not only create a safe environment at school, but also at everyone's homes and in the community.
Just before we leave off, social media advisor for Empowerment Club, Grace O'Neill, has some final thoughts and messages that she'd like to share.
Hi, my name is Grace O'Neill. I'm the social media advisor for the Empowerment Club. We just want to remind you that it's never too late to join, and you can always follow us on Instagram at wh.empowermentclub. Thank you.
I can't wait to see what they do next. Up next is Ariana and Ria, who are going to talk about the Wayne Hill swim team.
Hello, welcome to my segment. My name is Ariana Array. Today I am joined by Mr. Shale, history teacher and swim coach. We are here to introduce you to the 2021-2022 swim season. Let's get started with some questions. Tell me about your seniors on the team.
Well, currently on the girls' team, we only have 2 seniors this year, Manuela Gonzalez and Julia Jaworski. So we don't have a real depth of seniors in terms of numbers, but they're certainly they're real leaders on the team, and their swimmers. We're really looking forward to really helping us out, leading us through the season.
Yeah, awesome. Who would you say are the top leaders of our team?
I mean, certainly Jules and Manny, as I just mentioned, but it's really, just a matter of who's willing to step up and do the things that we ask of them. I look for swimmers to lead by example, showing up every day, putting the hard work in, and really being there for the team, doing whatever the team needs. High school swimming really is a team sport. While, yes, you're an individual swimming your events, it's really doing that which is needed for the team to win. That's something that we've always preached on the back of our T-shirts. We don't have any fancy slogans. We just have the word team every year, because that's really the priority when it comes to the Wayne Hill swim program.
Yep, I like high school swim a lot too. What's your preferred coaching style?
My preferred coaching style, I guess I would just say, I like to be firm but understanding. I'm not out there yelling and screaming at kids or berating or dressing anybody down. If somebody does make a mistake, they know they've made a mistake. It's a question of how can we adjust and adapt going forward. We certainly like to have fun when we can. There's a time to get work done, of course, but we like to make it enjoyable. And I certainly want the kids to want to come to practice and meets every day. And we're really trying to build a familial atmosphere. I know some of the swimmers went out the day before Thanksgiving. We're having another fundraiser this Friday where hopefully a lot of the swimmers and their families can go to the Outback and we can make a little money off that. So I guess my style is really just trying to, I certainly want the swimmers to swim for me and for the team. I certainly don't want anybody, walking around on eggshells, being in fear or anything like that.
Yeah. We know you used to coach soccer. What are the differences between the sports?
Yeah, I used to coach soccer, and I still do coach track and field. The biggest thing between, I guess, something like soccer versus swimming is things are a lot more subjective in soccer. At this point in my career, I always joke that I only coach sports that deal with stopwatches or tape measures, swimming and or track or field. When you're dealing with something like soccer, and it's similar to a baseball or a field hockey or a volleyball, it's very subjective, who should be the starting players, who should be playing what positions. And there's times where, frankly, I don't want to deal with the drama that can come with that. The beauty of swimming is, as I always say to the swimmers, assuming everyone's attitude is in the right place, the fastest swimmers swim. It is a meritocracy. It's a merit-based system. Doesn't matter what grade you're in. If you're faster than the next kid, you will get your opportunity to swim. So I really like that aspect of it. It's a little more data-driven, cut and dried. It's harder to really see a whole lot of drama regarding who should be doing what in swim meets.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think, and last question, what do you think our team needs to do in order to be successful this season?
I think the biggest thing is just everybody really coming together and putting the team first, doing whatever the team needs, swimming whatever events the team needs, even if that means putting aside people's personal desires to swim the events they want to swim, and really just giving it their all. As I always say to the girls, this is my 23rd season. I could do 20 more if I wanted, but for the kids, it's a very short window. You don't want to look back and feel like you didn't do all you could. You didn't support your teammates. You weren't there for your teammates. So I think if everybody's out there putting forth their best effort, doing what's good for the team, supporting one another, supporting their teammates, at the end of the season, we can certainly hold our heads high. Wins, losses, or ties, we can certainly feel proud about the effort that we put forward.
Yep. Well, that's all for our segment. Thanks for joining. And thank you to Mr. Shale for joining me today. Next is Mike and Rebecca reviewing different holiday candies. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Ariana and Rio, for your segment. My name is Michael Lucci.
And my name is Rebecca Coles.
In today's video, we tried holiday ice cream from Hometown Creamery.
They have great ice cream. There are new flavors for every season and holiday.
That is so cool. It sounds delicious.
Let's see what the first flavor we tried was.
The first ice cream we are going to try is eggnog. For me, that was like 8 out of 10.
Give it a 9.
The eggnog was pretty good.
Yeah, it tasted great.
Let's see what the next flavor is.
The next ice cream we're going to try is gingerbread. I give that like a 9 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
I liked the gingerbread.
I liked it too. Next up is the hot chocolate ice cream.
We're going to try hot chocolate. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
The hot chocolate ice cream was really good.
Yeah, the marshmallows and the chocolate ice cream went together perfectly.
Now let's see what we tried next.
All right. The next ice cream we're going to try is mocha Oreo.
Giving it a 4 out of 10.
I rate that one like a 5 out of 10.
That one was not what I expected.
Yeah, it was a very strong mocha taste, but the Oreos were good.
The next flavor we tried was peppermint bark.
The next one we are trying is peppermint bark.
I'm going to give that a 3 out of 10.
I'm going to give that like a 7 out of 10.
The peppermint bark was one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, same. It was great.
Thank you for watching our segment on holiday ice cream flavors.
Up next is Leah and Marissa trying holiday candy.
Hello everyone, my name is Leah Caruso.
And my name is Rebecca Coles. Today, Leah and I will be talking about holiday treats.
So Rebecca, out of all the treats that we are going to be talking about, which one is your favorite?
Honestly, Leah, my favorite would have to be the cookies. The frosting is so good, and I love the Christmas colors. Now let's take a look at what Leah tried first.
Okay guys, so I'm going to do a review on Starbucks Cake Pops. So because it is the holiday season, they had their holiday edition treats, and one of their holiday treats is the reindeer cake pop. So I'm going to try it and let you know what I think. So just from the tiny bite that I took, I do think it is really good. It kind of tastes like coffee. Very chocolatey, but it is really good. I think it looks really cute. It really looks like a reindeer. But yeah, it is really good. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. An 8, actually. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna take another bite. Definitely an 8 out of 10. So Starbucks, you did good on this one.
Cake pop was really good. The chocolate and the dough was so good. And it was so cute. That was my favorite for sure.
Yeah, same, Leah. I want another one after watching that. Let's take a look at the next treat.
Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to try is Starbucks Snowman Cookie. It is really cute. If you can see the little, I guess it's supposed to look like ice, the sprinkles, the frosting, the decoration, the scarf, the earmuffs. It is really cute. I heard good things. I've actually never had this, but I've heard very good things about this sugar cookie. So let's give it a try. It's okay. I definitely think that the cake pop is better, but I think this is a lot cuter than the cake pop, but it is really good. The frosting definitely adds flavor to it. I think the actual cookie is like bland, but it is really good. I'd give it a 6.5, 7.
Snacks just keep getting better and better. How cute was that snowman?
Starbucks makes such cute treats. Let's look at the last treat you tried.
Christmas frosted cookies. Let's give them a try. Now these I've had before and I love them, so they should be good. Ten out of 10. These, you can never go wrong with these cookies. They're perfect. They're amazing. The frosting just adds so much flavor. The sprinkles with the little Christmas trees on them. 10 out of 10. These cookies are very good. So I highly recommend them.
Frosting on those are the best.
Those cookies are so good. Let's go get some after this.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Up next is Steph with Holiday Cooking.
Hello Wayne Hills, I'm Stefania joined by Ariana. Today we're going to show you my grandma's Polish sugar cookie recipe. This traditional sugar cookie recipe, also known as kruszczyki, has been handed down through my mother's side from my great-grandmother.
How cool! Let's get started right away and check out the ingredients for these yummy cookies.
For the ingredients you'll need canola oil, all-purpose flour, 4 egg yolks, salt, powdered sugar, sour cream, and vanilla sugar. Now that the ingredients are laid out, let's check out the first several steps behind making these cookies. For the first step, you're going to take 1.5 cup of flour, pour in 2 tablespoons of vanilla sugar. Now you're going to add a pinch of salt. For the second step, you're going to make it easier for yourself and make a circle in the middle of the flour combination. Now you're going to pour in your egg yolks in the middle where you made your circle. Now you're going to add 4 spoonfuls of sour cream. Now that all your ingredients are mixed together, you're going to take a spoon or any utensil and just mix up and knead in all the ingredients together until you get a dough-like consistency. And make sure you're folding in, not mixing, but folding in.
Wow, it seems so easy to make the dough of the cookies, right?
Definitely, but now let's check out how to assemble the cookies. Now that your dough is all ready, you're going to cut a piece out, making sure you have some flour on your board, and roll it out into a thin rectangle. Now that it's in shape of a long rectangle, you're going to cut it vertically in half and horizontally in half. Okay, now that you've cut your slices, you're going to cut 1 slice in the middle of each mini rectangle. Taking one by one, you're going to stick in an end in the middle where you cut. This creates a pretty bow-like design for each cookie. And you're going to repeat this step until you've used up all of your dough. Just like this, sticking one end in the middle, making a pretty angel-like bow.
Wow, these look amazing and so easy to assemble. The cookies have a shape of an angel wing, possibly making them more appealing to eat.
Exactly. In fact, as a child, it was always my job to loop the end of each cookie through its hole. But in order to actually eat these cookies, you will have to deep fry them in a pan, as shown in the next few steps. Next step is to fry your cookies. Here you're going to have a pot full of oil. You're going to take one of your cookies and dip it into the oil. Eventually, it'll float up and look like this one. You're going to complete your process until all the cookies are done. Now that your cookies are fried and oil-free, you're going to sprinkle some powdered sugar on top of them. Get them nice and coated and fully covered in sugar until you're satisfied.
Now that the cookies are fried and fully coated with sugar, let's check out the final presentation video segment.
And this is what your finished product should look like. Enjoy!
As you can see, almost like a funnel you get at the fair, these cookies are crisp and soft, coated with yummy powdered sugar.
Exactly. These are perfect for the holidays, so don't be afraid to share this recipe with your friends and family.
Well, that'll be it for today, Hills. I'm Stefania.
And I'm Ariana.
Stay tuned for Noah Sandler and Josh Spongins as they review the Wayne Knights hockey season.
Hello, I am Noah Sandler, and I'm here with junior hockey player Josh Spongin. Today we'll be previewing the Wayne Knights hockey team season. So Josh, to start off, what are some goals the hockey team is looking to achieve this year?
Well, we'd like to achieve many big goals, but we also have to start with the smaller goals. We'll start with the league championship, then the county, and then finally the state.
Who would you say are like the top two offensive players on this team that really get your team those extra shots and keep the puck in the zone?
Obviously, Luke Holbert, number 7, senior captain. He's got a lot of skill, and he has a lot of knowledge of the game. He leads the team in points right now, and just having Luke there is just huge to the team. Forward Joey Rena, although he doesn't score many goals, he's huge in the offense. A lot of assists this year, and just his physical presence is huge.
In terms of your team's whole game plan as a whole, what do you guys need to improve on most?
Well, so far in the young season, we need to capitalize on our opportunities. We need to score on the power plays, and defensive structure as a whole, we need to capitalize.
Yeah, and so now you guys play at the Ice Vault, which is a great atmosphere. Kind of describe to me what that's like playing there this year, and then you played there last year with no spectators at all.
Well, last year was tough because there was really nobody in the building. At the end of the season, some parents were allowed back in. So just having the students in the building this year, it just gives everybody a bigger jump and go in their game.